Today, we're going to look at the power of plastic. It's how credit cards ruin people's lives. This topic came to me after I watched this 60-minute segment from Consumer Protection Hub about the power of plastic. The story is about how credit cards ruin kids' lives. And what credit card companies don't want you to know. I mean, back then, your parents would give you an allowance, but a credit card is just a simple piece of plastic to teach you all about money and responsibility. Don't get me wrong. What we're talking about today is how credit cards can be used to if you want to watch the video, I'll put the link in the description below. There were several college students that hated themselves because they were in debt. We're talking like $5,000 in debt, $10,000 in debt. We're talking about like a lot of money in debt. There's nothing you can do but wait. If you're in a hole, there's nothing you can do but wait. But as this transcript goes, I mean, it's seducing a college crowd. Big profits are at stake. Believe it or not, colleges are making millions of dollars letting banks hawk credit cards right on campus. But the GAO is taking a look at this as a Congress in a few states. I'd imagine if the Texas A&M University and the Corpus Christi, I'd imagine all universities here in the South Texas area are using this kind of crap. But years ago, Sean Moyer was 22. He was a self-merit scholar headed to law school. He was in debt and desperate. He was more than $14,000 in debt, even though his mother had already bailed him out once. Her mother says she blames her son, but says he always worked hard. He had worked hard since age 16 and had 2 jobs. When he died, she says, he was naive, taken by slick credit card vendors. She said she didn't have to co-sign for him because he was 18. It's like easy. I mean, if you're 18, you can't, like if you're 18, you sign on your own. So basically, these tragedies happen because of these credit cards. And who's to blame? And what is the credit card company saying about this? They don't want to talk to 60 Minutes 2. By the way, 60 Minutes is different from 60 Minutes 2 was just another segment, another show. I mean, but 60 Minutes was just a regular thing. It got canceled back in like 2004 or 5. That's another time. Why couldn't this title it The Power of Credit Cards? I mean, yes, a credit card is like a piece of plastic that you use. But college students, I mean, but like, credit cards offer many benefits that can help them. They can make them the most attractive way to pay off for goods and services. It can help you build credit history using a credit card instead of a debit card, making payments on time to establish a sole credit history and a strong credit score. But still, why couldn't it happen? was in Houston and many other states. Long after the deaths, Poole and Moore received a credit card applications in the mail, yet the banks did not require the parents to co-sign after them to pay their bills. But the University of Oklahoma says it no longer has a credit card contract with MNBA. But it does allow credit card vendors onto campus, like the one 60 Minutes, like the one they vetoed in October. Debbie Alford, who lived in Poole's dorm, would try to revive her and Mitzi Poole, 2 victims. I wasn't up until 21 and 22 starting to get really scary. I mean, her roommate, Mitzi's roommate, was working like full time and trying to graduate. She says bank kept increasing her credit limits. She kept charging clothes, concert tickets, and pizzas until she was $14,000 in debt and only $4,000 a year. After that, she filed for bankruptcy. And there was an industry training manual. But if a student says, I'm afraid I may go into debt, the solicitor was to say, now is the proper time to manage credit. But still, they refused to talk to 60 Minutes, either the credit card companies. But if they talked, the case would not have been broke years ago. I mean, the case would have been cracked. And if they would have, and if 60 Minutes 2 would have tried to find out the credit card bills, they would have known exactly what happened. I think colleges should not have the right to give kids credit cards if they're going to be over debt. What can you do? Don't go over debt. Don't be in the hole like I used to do, and make sure you try to limit your costs. Go for the small stuff, meaning the cheaper stuff. No expensive video games, no plasma TVs, no taxis, no lifts, no food deliveries, nothing. Small stuff, donuts, apples, celery, carrots, whatever. Small stuff. Big stuff, you're going to go in the hole. Schools you have to teach them all about how money works, how credit cards work and stuff, and then many people need to teach about money management skills. And parents, you need to do the same thing. Limit. I mean, if you want, that's another story for another time. We'll be right back. Up front tonight, the latest on the New Hampshire couple's murder disappearance. I mean, this is the very latest from Channel 6. Claiborne County, where indictments have been announced against Adam Williams and Amanda Novar. They were arrested back in November after they were seen driving a stolen truck in Mexico. The truck belonged to victim James and Michelle Butler. The New Hampshire couple vanished in October, and their bodies were buried at Padre Island. Today, the district attorney announced Williams and Novar had been indicted for tampering with evidence, felony, theft, and being a felon in the possession of a firearm. The district attorney says the investigation into possible murder capital charges continues. No trial dates were set for the indictments today, and both of them held on bond for $1.2 million apiece. I think think they did it. They gotta understand, when you choose to behave, you choose the consequences. If you choose to do these charges, and you choose the consequence of going to jail, that's their choice. But they made that choice, so they have to choose everything that goes along with it. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. I mean, we know they did it. I mean, we know they did it. Okay. Yesterday was Martin Luther King Jr. Day, and there was like a lot of stuff happening, like the march downtown for MLK Day. I mean, the purpose of remembering MLK Day is to remember about Martin Luther King's speech called "I Have a Dream." And if you thought that the killer was indeed, what's his name? It wasn't. It was a man named Raul. Alright. There's nothing really new to talk about. I mean, basically here, I mean, we talked about, basically talked about the Dixie fight song. I mean, I hope they come up with a brand new one. Like, hope they come up with like a good one. Because that sounds really racist. We're gonna have more when we come back. Stay tuned. Just days ago, in Grant Middle School, a student was like carrying a BB gun to school. I mean, he's now in juvenile detention center for like making terroristic threats and bringing a gun on campus. I mean, I talked about this on the show all the time. You're not supposed to bring guns to school. And Hank Hill, in the King of the Hills, Hank tells Bobby, you shouldn't take guns to school with you. They're dangerous. And I can hear people saying, guns don't kill people. The police do and the government does. I don't care. You may think I'm a bully at the school district. I don't care. You just don't bring guns to school. It's dangerous. It's a safety issue for all students. Anything that can be used as a weapon is a weapon. A drill, a saw, tools, those are weapons. Guns, knives, daggers, axes, machetes, weapons. Schools all have zero tolerance policy which says weapons are prohibited. Period. No one understands it, but no one understands because all they want to do is just bring guns to school, just to show their students. If you would take a picture and show it to them, then they would understand. Like if your teacher asks you what you get for Christmas, I got this. You pull out your bag, I got this, and it's like you're under arrest. But if you show them a picture, it would be less horrifying. That way it'd be 100% safe, and we don't have to be running out of the school. Okay, what else can we talk about? Okay, let me tell you something. In the past, I've talked to you guys about paying for the education over free education, but now people prefer. I mean, looking back at that episode, what I acknowledged was people would prefer paying for the education over free education from our tax dollars. I mean, it's the thing. People just don't wanna like go to public school for like 6.5 hours. Listen, you go to school by law. You sit in school for 6.5 to 7 hours until school ends. You go to lunch and that's it. It's just like, I don't know. I mean, and to all people that say I'm gonna skip school to go play Fortnite. I'm coming to wherever you're at. I will come and hunt you down and take you to school if I have to. Because if I hear truancy people like that, you piss me off. Parents, you got to understand. Truancy is a serious issue. You want to end up in court paying fines? You need to send your kid to school, otherwise this is what can happen. There's nothing you can't do but pay fines and go to court and go to these parent conferences and then go to court if it continues. Fines will be paid, and then if it continues, you'll be sitting in jail. Your kids have to understand when you choose the behavior, you choose the consequences. If your kid decides to skip school to play Fortnite, you got to be tough enough and take the kid back to school. There's nothing you can do, but there's nothing you can do. Truancy is a serious issue here. I mean, school districts have to be tough on this. I mean, by law, 10 more absences, you will go to truancy court. And AWOL is like a serious issue. You could be in trouble for cutting class. If you don't want this to happen, you stay in school. That's it. We just simply can't have this anymore. All right, we'll be back in a moment. 2 weeks ago, we talked about a smell that happened at Robstown ISD. Many of you people had some thoughts about what the smell could be, like liquid ass. It could be fart spray. We don't know what it could be.
It's been causing that foul odor at Driscoll Elementary School. Students at Robert Driscoll Elementary have been complaining about the unpleasant smell for 2 years. So the school installed charcoal filters in the vents. That was 2 years ago when the complaints came in. So that's what happened. Well, the smell returned in October. And today, school administrators say they found a crack in an exhaust vent pipe, and they hope to have it fixed by early next week.
I hope they got it fixed. I mean, that pipe needs to be fixed. If it's not, then shut down the school. What if the health department could come in and saw that thing and they'd be like, shut down the school? We can use our tax dollars. We can use our tax dollars to help out with this. I mean, we need to understand. I mean, our kids go to school for safety purposes, and if And if they, you know what happens if they were to hear that smell? See that smell? I mean, smell that smell? Sick people could come on in. Lots of kids will be sick. And a lot of students can be really sick, and then parents will be complaining to the school district. Alright. Okay, now the subject of George Lopez. That look good, George Lopez! That look good, George Lopez, no way. What are you talking about, Tim Cumberland? This joke was drawing attention about bounty on Trump. I mean, this happened like weeks ago. Two weeks ago, he did a joke about bounty Trump. He didn't attract the attention of President Trump supporters with a joke he made on social media. He's apparently also drawn the attention of U.S. Secret Service. Multiple media reports say he drew fire for his reply to Instagram posts from Chicano Ward Star, an account with nearly 180,000 followers. The account posted about a rumored $80 million bounty on Trump's head following the killing of Iranian military commander Qasem Soleimani. The claims of the bounty weren't established. The caption that accompanied social media post read, #Iranian. Authorities have put a bounty on American President Donald Trump's head during a televised funeral of General #Qasem Soleimani after it was assassinated last week. What are your thoughts? I mean, he said, "We'll do it for half," saying off social media firestorm against the 58-year-old entertainer. #Arrest George Lopez was trending on Twitter Monday as pro-Trump social media users urged the authorities to investigate the comment. But Lopez's spokesman has told multiple media outlets that the comment was a joke and nothing more. But according to reports of TMZ and other media outlets, the Secret Service is aware of Lopez's comment, and they're working to see if his words carry legitimacy as a threat. Lopez has not yet responded to these reports. I think it's racist and offensive. Stuff can be offensive. Let me tell you, we have a thing called freedom of speech, which says you get to say whatever you want. But offensive stuff, you've drawn the line. I think if we hear from Lopez, we hear Lopez's side of the story, he would tell us the truth. So we heard from the spokesman. Now we got to hear Lopez's side of the story. There's three sides of the story. We've heard it from the U.S. Secret Services multimedia reports. That's two. Third, from the spokesman, from Lopez's spokesman. Now number four, we got to hear it from Lopez himself. If he were to admit that he was offending it, then who knows? Maybe he could be fired from the. He could be fired. Give us your thoughts in the comments below. That's all the time you have for this Wednesday. Give me a break. I'll see you tomorrow. I'll see you Friday. With a topic that's not for children. Have a good night.